Hey there, my name is Ben. I am a startup advisor for the R Startups Discord. So I'm going to go through my deck or go through this deck here, and I'm going to give you some stream of consciousness thoughts as I go through it. I do this because the order in which questions come up for me, the order in which things confuse me, my train of thought as I'm going through the deck might be important to help you organize your information and improve your pitch. If you can get to the point where you are proactively anticipating my questions and then getting to them on the next slide, it will be much, much better from an investor perspective. So I'm going to go through your deck. Okay. So this is Cron Market, own everything. Going back to my Linux days here. A while since I've seen Cron. So problems, expensive short period trial. What? A few things which people really need are expensive, often is required for a certain period of time. People regret after buying it. Okay, so I don't know what we're talking about yet. I don't know if this is like a language barrier, but this doesn't tell me anything about what the problem, like what. So this is expensive. If I had to guess based off of the two slides, just based off of the name and these three bits here, I'm going to say this is going to be an object sharing service of some kind, like a peer-to-peer rental network, kind of like Airbnb, but for like household items or something. Maybe it's for tools. I don't know. Rent it out from a variety of price options. Own it until you want it. Rent or try out before buying. Yeah, these two slides need serious work. I don't understand what this is talking about yet. I don't know what your solution is yet. Okay, so it's a $5 billion market. This is a $5 billion market in India. This is a $5 billion market worldwide. So you got references. Fantastic. I love to see references. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what your problem is yet. I certainly don't know how you're proposing to do it. At this point, as an investor, I would probably stop reading because there's not enough communicated to me yet to really go on here. But for the purposes of improving, I'm going to keep going. You need to grab me in like the first two slides or I'm just going to bail. I'd say a $5 billion market, maybe you can capture 1% of the total addressable market. Not super, super compelling, but I'm guessing this is all India specific. You need to be really clear as to what market you're looking at and how you value it. Is this total dollar market or total dollar value of money being spent? Is this some fee-based metric? I don't know. So your competitors, I don't know any of these companies, so I still don't really get anything. I'm guessing this is still rental, like I said, like you're renting out furniture or something to that perspective. Make sure that your formatting is not, your text isn't overrunning boxes and bounds. On a competitor slide, you need to say how you're going to beat each of these competitors. It's kind of like your GPA. Don't bring it up unless it's good. I need to know like how you are going to address the threat of Furlan Co. I want to know how you're going to address the threat of Let's Rent. How are you different? How are you better? You have well, actually, I don't know. This looks like a spelling error to me, but I think maybe it's not. Okay. Competitive advantage. So Cron. Oh man, this is a mess. So if this is a matrix and affordable is higher in categories, I'm guessing this is like the selection, like the variety of things that you have. You're saying you're as affordable as Rent Mojo. You have the same amount of categories as Furl & Co, but Furl & Co is less affordable. City Furnish is less affordable and has less selection, is what I'm guessing. So best practices, like if you're going to do kind of a matrix approach like this, like you don't do a cross tab like this. You do like affordable would be over here, would be your y-axis. Selection would be your x-axis, and then plot these competitors along that. Like this crossbar here is very strange, and it doesn't really tell me much. And so far, like this is the first part. This is the first time you've actually mentioned you or what your product is and anything about the product. And we are, I don't know what slide we're on right now. We're on slide 6. Like you need to talk about what Cron is and what you're trying to do. Like you're being way too vague right now. Like there's 2 different kinds of decks that you could send to an investor. There's a standalone deck that you're going to send to someone for a cold read, and then there's your live read deck where you know, like you can be more minimalistic if you're talking through the deck. If this is a cold read, like I'm doing a cold read right now, I don't know anything about your business. You need to be more verbose on a cold read deck than you do on a live read deck. Oh, okay, here's your product finally, 7 slides in here. So electronics for rent around you, but then so you're going to be doing rental for electronics and clothing. So electronics, fashion, tools, furniture. Okay, so I was right. It's like a peer-to-peer rental network. I've seen people try to launch this a lot in the US, and it's really difficult to get on the ground. Interesting that you guys do have a Google Play Store, like you're already doing this. That's really great. The big thing that kills this stuff is they tend to be hyper local. So you either need to have some really unique ways of handling distribution and logistics, or this is going to stay super, super local. Like it's only going to work in really big cities. Now, India might be an interesting place for this because, you have mega cities in India, which I'm guessing, yeah, Bangalore. So could be interesting, but India, I also know like, those mega cities are also kind of difficult to get around. So is someone going to carry a TV from one side of Bangalore to the other side of Bangalore for rental? How do you get the TV from place to place? I don't know. Maybe there's really robust courier services. Are there partners that you could use in India to get things from point to point cheap enough where these prices are still profitable for the people who are doing renting? I don't know. Be interesting to see. So you got a mobile app, looks pretty professional, looks pretty attractive. Says it's launched, so these aren't mockups, I'm guessing. So you got a website. I'll check out the website at the end of this. So these slides, you need to talk about like what are these illustrating. So this is good. Like here's your workflow. This one's not really telling me anything different than what the first website was. You could just get rid of the slide completely and put the link on this first page because it's literally the same thing. Again, this is the 3rd time we have seen this exact picture. It's repetitive, doesn't add any value at this point, so get rid of this one. So I would get rid of these 2 slides, move your link to cronmarket.com to here, and keep this slide because it shows the flow. Probably what I would do is I would actually move this slide up here because it actually talks about what you're doing and how you're addressing the problem. And then you can move product. I don't know. You could probably combine these 2 slides as well. You could say like, hey, here's our Google Play link, here's our website link or something. You can make these pictures a little bit smaller, like bam, 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 and then have this thing in the corner kind of could work. Yeah, condense that a bit. Business model. So you're going to take 4% commission on every transaction. Charge if they want to list. So like, is this the first item is free, and then it's like Etsy where you're going to pay 10 cents a month to have an item posted or something? That's probably not a bad idea. Third-party brand promotions. How does a rental site do brand promotions, or why? Because like me, if I am Gucci, I don't want to advertise on a rental site because I want people to buy my stuff from the store, not renting it. Because like I don't like, brands make no money off of the secondary market, so you're not going to get any traction whatsoever for them advertising on a secondary market, if I had to guess. Now, if you had a way to reward brands on the secondary market, that could be interesting. Give them a new you could give them a new revenue stream, and you could maybe even use that as a way to get things into the secondary market that might not necessarily make it to the secondary market. Well, like say Gucci would really love to get more customers, but today people aren't going to rent out their Gucci sweatpants or whatever. Gucci could seed your secondary market with Gucci sweatpants kind of clandestinely, like people wouldn't necessarily know that they're coming from Gucci. And then that would be a way for Gucci to build their brand in like a market that maybe wouldn't be able to afford it previously. So, and that would also be a way for them to make more money off of their clothing. I don't know, that was just off the top of my head. Okay, so we got a full stack developer, we got a developer, we got a developer. I don't see anybody in retail. I don't see anybody in logistics. I wonder if this team can execute. Like, yeah, you guys are great developers. You guys developed a pretty slick looking, like what is tech-based service? Like be more specific. Like what, is this something that is this something that helps me know that you're going to be the people that can execute on this idea? I don't know at this point. Financials, need mentorship and guidance if approved. We're looking for 8 to 12 months financing at 150K. Need to hire people, you need to develop a product, spread the word, partial advertisement. I don't know what this means. I don't know, some advertisements. Be more detailed on this. I'm guessing you're saying $150,000 gets us 8 to 12 months to work on our idea, but the way it's phrased sounds like a loan, and I think that's probably not what you're going for. Okay. So you guys got better as it went, but you need to get to the point much quicker, and you need to really go into detail on what you're solving here. Like you have all the basic slides, but they don't have enough information on them. Like really dig into why this is a problem, and think about like, so your problem slide should talk about an emotional, like try to connect your problem to emotion. Is like, you know, people need tools to do their everyday jobs, but they can't afford them because we live in India and getting high quality tools is difficult. People who buy and invest in those really high quality tools only use them occasionally. So it's a big investment for something you're not going to use a lot. Here comes Cron. We let you rent things that you might only use once. If you already own it, you can get your money back on it by renting it to other people. And then for people who want to try something before they buy it, they can rent it out on Cron. And then if they want to buy it, they can buy it. Maybe this trial is where you're thinking about like renting it out to, you know, getting money for advertising. Like say you could rent the Gucci sunglasses, see if you like them. And then if you like them, you can go buy them from Gucci through Cron. Like that could be interesting. The market, you got to be way more specific. Like what is, I don't even know what you're quantifying here very well. I'm guessing this is just the India market. I'm guessing these are specific things. Like I would want to know like what is the rental market in India right now? How fast is it growing? Is this something people are already doing or not? Then yeah, you need to show, like you do that here, you're showing how you compare to these people, but this is way too vague. way too vague. You need to dig into this more detail wise. You need to talk about like how you're going to beat each of these individual competitors if you're going to bring them up. Then yeah, you can do some condensing here, but like I said, got better as you went, but that first part of the deck is just way too vague. You've got some spelling issues here and there, and then yeah. All right, hopefully that's helpful.